one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Mr. Blanton?
Here.
Mr. Volrath?
Here.
Mr. Robinson?
Here.
All right. Need an acceptance of the minutes from the June 17th, 2026 regular meeting of the Board of Trustees.
I will make a motion to accept the minutes from the June 17th regular meeting of the Board of Trustees.
I will second.
Mr. Blanton?
Yes.
Mr. Volrath?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
All right. And can I get a motion for the acceptance of the invoices?
Make a motion that we accept all invoices as presented by the fiscal officer over the last month.
I will second it, sorry.
Mr. Blanton?
Yes.
Mr. Volrath?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
All right. No one here from Sheriff's Department tonight?
Do we not know about the sheriffs? Mr. Brown?
No, I thought he'd be here. Maybe he'll just be running a little late.
Are there some sign-in sheets for speaking tonight?
Yes, they're out on the front.
All right. No sheriff's report at this point. Let's see. Public presentations and public requests to be on the agenda. Mr. David Walters from Marathon Health. You're up first. If you wouldn't mind coming to the mic, please, sir.
Fantastic. Good evening. Thanks for having me here tonight. The reason we're here from Marathon Health, representing Marathon Health and Clinic Strategies, is to offer primary care to the Miami Township employees. After several meetings with Jim Brett, it was determined that that might be something of interest for the employees of the township, and what we thought we would do is explain what the program is all about so you would know, and then of course answer any questions you have, whether it's this evening or maybe further on at that point in time. So essentially what Marathon Health is all about is direct primary care. So it is indeed primary care. It is kind of concierge care, if you will. We have soon to be 6 offices in Greater Cincinnati. Right now we have one in Kings. We have one in Green Township, 10 minutes from here. We have one downtown. We have one in Springdale. We have one in Erlanger. And then the 6th and newest one will be at the county's headquarters, if you will, in Mont Hill. That's the actual structures there. Just we don't have anybody in yet. That'll be probably in 3 or 4 months. The program that we have has been put together because it's for smaller employers. Typically, what I work on are larger employers, somebody like the size of the county, or somebody with 1,000 employees or 500 employees, typically not 50 employees. But we put together a program with Clinic Strategies as our partner, and what that does is allow us to generate access for smaller employers. So Clinic Strategies is my customer, if you will, and then your employees would enroll in our Clinic Strategies and have access to Marathon Health. And essentially, Marathon Health, when you come in our front doors, your visit is 30 to 40 minutes. Your generic drugs that we have on our list, about 120 different drugs, are going to be included in that visit, as well as any lab work that's done. So your employees aren't paying for those items separately, if that makes sense. So the idea is, A, you're generating access, and B, you're taking away the blocking, if you will, of entry into the primary care space. You may say, hey, we have a great health plan, it's only a small copay, but still, small copays times 3 kids or small copays times a family of 5 add up. So if you can walk into one of my front doors and it's whatever is handled there is covered at no cost, well, no cost to the employee, because obviously there's a cost to the township, and you all are taking that on. But once you walk through our front door, that's all inclusive. So the upside of that is it generates better care for the employees, better care for the employees' families. What we talked about is a program to have the township pay for the employees, and then the employees can cover their spouses and kids if they wanted to from a voluntary perspective. And that's something that we can put together and build. Really the idea is to, again, no one argues that primary care is not important, but Cincinnati, I would tell you, is not necessarily a healthcare desert. But we do have waiting periods, and we do have long wait times to get in and see primary care, whether it's full or not full. Your friends over in Green and Delhi, but Frank and Scott are also customers. Their employees use it a fair amount. We'll just leave it at that, especially the green folks, because it's right there next to their admin building. We're probably about 3 minutes from their offices. So that kind of gives you an idea of where we are. I know in this format, it's probably not a ton of questions and answers at this point in time, but what we really wanted to do is bring it to your attention and let you know what's available. The idea then is to, from a primary care perspective, if you ask a primary care physician what you can do, most of them would say we can handle about 80% of what a person needs, realistically. Now, granted, we're not doing hips and knees, we're not delivering babies, we're talking about primary care. And along those lines, if you're seeing a primary care physician in the, I'll just say Tri-Health, I don't want to pick on anyone's system, but that could be any of them. The idea is they'll handle a little bit of the primary care, and then anything remotely related to specialty care, you're quickly referred out. I'm sure all of us in this room can probably relate to that. The idea being, if it can be handled in that primary care setting, why not handle it in the primary care setting where it's most cost effective? And the treatment is much quicker. So that's really the idea. And ultimately that generates an ROI later on down the road for the health plan, for the employees, and usually typically better health, better working atmosphere, so on and so forth. Initially, when we talk about this program, are there questions that come to mind for this particular group? I'm not sure the protocol.
Yeah, I would say, first question, this is kind of in conjunction with other insurance that they have?
It is, absolutely, yes. So it wouldn't replace the health insurance plan, it goes alongside the health insurance plan. So the idea being, whatever's handled inside of Marathon Health, we don't bill the insurance company for it, you've already paid for that visit, and we then manage the care at that point in time. So it doesn't add cost to the health insurance plan.
As you're kind of talking about this, with the addition of the spouses and the children and things like that, kids stay on until 26, kind of like with regular insurance, or?
Actually, the kids can stay on forever, if you'd like, because it's not really underneath the health insurance laws. We're not health insurance, it's actually health care.
Okay.
So kids could, at any point in time, actually enroll themselves and keep on going. My son, who is 29, who actually lives in town, is actually enrolled. So, yeah, you don't actually have to fall off, if you will.
Okay. I think that's all I had. Question one?
Costs.
Right now, it is $49 per employee, or per person, so per employee for the township, because that's what we're looking at to cover. So $49 covers, like I said, those 120 generic, granted that generic drugs are cholesterol, blood pressure, so it's not going to be any of the drugs you see advertised on TV at night.
Right.
That's crazy. So that's for a year?
It's per month.
Oh, it's per month.
Per month, yes.
49 a month, and then the addition of spouses and children, what's the cost on, is it 49
That would
each?
also be 49, but that would be at the employee's expense.
Okay.
I mean, unless the township wanted to certainly pick it up. Because we have employers that do it both ways.
I've spoken with the electeds in both Greene and Delhi, and they both speak very highly of it. And like you pointed out, their employees utilize it quite a bit and have gotten good feedback. So I think it's a good, a good program. I guess we'll just have to talk about as a board, whether the cost makes sense and how to break it down or not break it down or whatever. But in general, like I said, I've heard very positive feedback, and that, like you pointed out, a lot of times there's no need to go to, the emergency room or whatever else when it can be quick, more convenient, more cost effective. So
Each of these centers, we don't have, they have varying hours, so if it's, and the beauty of it is if you can't get into Green Township tomorrow, you might be able to get in on Friday, or you could go downtown and get into that health center tomorrow. So the idea is generating access sooner than later.
Is there any services there like drug screening or anything like that?
We do a few from like an occupational standpoint. Yeah, we're just starting to get into that, so that would be something that we could talk about at a different point in time, if you will, but it's probably the beginning of the year we'll be ready to do some of those things. Believe me, Skylar and Frank have been asking on a regular basis.
So vaccines and things like that are also included?
They are, yeah. We don't have, for children, there's not a lot of vaccines or immunizations for young kids. We just don't see enough, kids under, say, 2, 3, 4 years old. So there's still that need for that pediatrician from that perspective, but otherwise, sports physicals and things like that for older kids, absolutely.
So they do the sports physicals? Good.
They also offer a telehealth opportunity so that if you can't get in your car to get to the doctor, or as in my case, one of my children was on a lake trip, and you can do a telehealth visit with the physician as well, and that's very helpful.
Yeah, it's with the physician that you would have seen in person, if you will.
Okay. Anything else?
No, I don't have anything.
Appreciate you coming out.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. The one thing that started this conversation in talking with our healthcare provider, the cost that they save there drives down the cost to our insurer. And when we come up for renewal in a year, or it may take 2 years to see a significant decrease. But the more people that use that, the less people that bill the insurance company. And then when we go to renew, those rates will drop because we're not using that insurance. That's the,
As much.
yeah, cost is the big driver for me. Although, just in full disclosure, I now have that as an employee at Whitewater. And honestly, I was skeptical when Jeff from One Digital first told me about this program. And when we just started this July 1st, and I signed my wife up the week before. So.
All right, thank you. No one else on
Joe's
the
got a question.
question?
Just I'm Ted Babel, retired union electrician, Local 212 in Cincinnati. The talk on this, the pipe fitters, Local 369, and the IBW Local 212 use this program. And we're very happy with it. I can provide you information with our trustees and actually get you in contact with one of our members that actually worked with them and set this program up for the electricians union. That way you can get a biased opinion if that's something you would want to get to.
Absolutely. Yeah, it'd be good. Thank you.
Mayor?
Jerry.
I can also offer consumer opinion. It's a great program. My employer's been using it for several years, and it is a great cost saver to the employee, which is much appreciated with the cost of drugs. And they do with the medications, they do the 3-month mail order stuff. It's very convenient. Green Township, your doctor at Green Township is wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah, I have it through Hamilton County, so
Yeah.
I have the same. So,
All right, thank you. Any other public presentations?
We had Brian McDonald, but I believe I checked with him because we moved our meeting and he is out of town, so maybe he'll be here next month.
All right. Let's move on to Administrator's Report. Mr. Brett.
Good evening, everyone. I thought my report was going to be brief, and it ended up being rather lengthy, so I'll hit the high points quickly, and then if you have questions, I'll be glad to answer them. The Jordan Road Waterline Project, we've requested the Cleese Council consider some type of relief for the tap fees for the residents along Jordan Road. Tap fees are something that hadn't taken place during previous projects. When you guys started this project years ago, it was assumed that the same consideration would be given, and I know there was talk of, as they were moving to the new remote read meters, there was talk of a meter fee, but I believe the tap fee back then too was about $1,200, maybe $1,300. And so since that time, there's a new administration. Tap fees are now tapping connection fees, and the Cleese Waterworks fee is about $4,300 for a residential tap. And so I sent kind of an explanation of the history, asking that Cleves Council consider some type of relief for our residents. Their administrator has recommended against that. We have some representatives here tonight, so I don't know if you're here to talk about that, but we can get to that later on. The final piece of the water line is the crossing on East Miami River Road over Jordan Creek. You wouldn't think that it would be that hard to choose a material to hang that on a bridge, but the county is still looking at the methods to hang that. So hopefully we'll get that done. That's the final piece. Then we'll be able to disconnect the line that is hanging in the creek. And part of our change order for that was to remove that 6-inch line that hangs, or 8-inch line, whatever it is, that hangs in Jordan Creek. That way, that'll never be a problem for Cleves Waterworks in the future. We'll just get rid of that. And that's the final piece, and that project will be complete.
Jim, this has been going on forever. So when is the hardware coming in, and when are we expected to have this finished?
Depends on the hardware they approve, and that's what we're waiting on. It's a final. Yeah.
All right.
So.
When
yeah.
is that meeting supposed to happen, or is it going to happen, or is it happening without you?
It won't be a meeting. It'll just be them approving the materials. So there's no need for everybody to get together. They just
we're
have
waiting on the hardware, but we don't know what hardware to order
Correct.
yet?
Correct.
Is that correct?
That's my understanding, yes. I know that sounds crazy. They had approved a method of running this across the creek initially, and why that can't be used, I can't explain. So, but
Okay.
the sooner the better. Rackenbauer would like to get this project done. We'd like to get it done.
We would like to get it done.
So,
All right.
moving on to the West Park expansion, we have the final revisions on the ball field. For those of you who aren't familiar with that project, the ball field at our playground extension, our expansion, shrunk down in size due to the floodway. And as the county redefined that floodway, the field got smaller. In order to meet the needs of as many age groups as we could, we pushed the ball field back, made some safety changes, including, believe it or not, we have to have a retention pond for the water right there at the river. Makes no sense at all to me, makes no sense at all to our engineer, because it really doesn't retain water. It just offers a method for the river when it goes up to get into our park. But with putting a fence down along left field line, raising some storm drains, and doing some other things for safety purposes, we were able to gain most of that footage back. And so this evening you'll have a change order to approve under new business, I believe, for that. Events and communications, just want to make everybody aware that our second summer concert is scheduled for Friday, August 7th. The Naked Karate Girls, and we hope everybody can make it and come up and have a great time at that. One of the projects we've been working on, and I have monopolized Trustee Blanton's time in getting this worked out. He's been great at working on this with me. We originally approved a budget of $200,000 for the play sets and artificial surfacing for that. We were able to take advantage of a purchasing system that is pre-approved at state minimum pricing. And with that, we were able to get basically two of the larger structures from, we had about, what did we have, Dan, 8 different designs. And we picked out the two nicest structures for 2 to 5-year-olds and then 5 to 12-year-olds. With the pricing, we can get that, but it's going to cost us about $25,500 more. that park gets a lot of use, and you have pictures in your packet tonight that show what that'll look like. That will be one of the nicer playgrounds that you will find, and I'm certainly recommending that you approve that addition. Our general fund levy, you have a resolution for your consideration tonight to place that on the ballot. So if you decide to do that, then we will get that down to the Board of Elections tomorrow. I was hoping that by tonight I could tell you that the cemetery road improvements were complete, but the week that they wanted to do it, we had 3 funerals scheduled, so we put them off, and now they haven't been able to get back. And
Is there a way to do, like, this has been going since prior to Memorial Day, even if we have to kind of piecemeal this and get this done, like, I don't know, it feels like this project is another one that's never getting done.
I have that feeling too, but it's a matter of to get the pricing that they gave us, they need to mobilize, come in, do it, and get out. And with the weather, everybody keeps getting moved back. I had hoped the outside of this building would have been done middle of June, and they still haven't given me a firm date on when we're going to be able to get this done. So we have a couple of these type projects that are hanging out there that, you know, contractors are using weather for an excuse, and I get it. It's been a horrible year. The park is behind because it's flooded. It's been wet, and we met down there one Friday morning, and it was just, I think Dan, Tim, Mark Rosenberger, and I were all covered with mud by the time Tim from Ole, we were all covered with mud by the time we got to the trailer to even go over the project. So it's just been a horrible year. As far as the campus up here, the planning that we approved for Bear Becker to do, they're working on that, and we'd like to have our first public input hearing. They're going to have some ideas put together, but we'd like to suggest August the 18th, the Tuesday before our next meeting, to ask for public input on what they'd like to see up here, and take a look at what could be, maybe. And we'll have a couple of those before we move along with that. If you guys can check your schedules, let me know if that's okay, then we'll get that date out to everybody. Maintenance department staffing. Danny Lee, who's worked for us part-time in the summer for a long time, is going to quit early this year to take care of some family members, and I think it might be grandkids. And so he was going to cut back, and next week is actually going to be his last week, I believe. We were able to find another part-time person named Bruce Becker, so we'd like to welcome him to the team. We've added him. He'll be filling in for Danny, still at that part-time position. So nuisance complaints, kind of the same thing. We're looking for someone to replace Ed Lindenschmidt. We have 2 interested parties in that position. One's a local resident with a background in construction. The other is the current code enforcement specialist at Coleraine Township. Mr. Robinson and I are reviewing those applications, just their resumes, and hopefully we can fill that part-time position. That'll remain a part-time position, so we can just fill that when we find the right person. Good news, Strasser Road Maintenance is going to be back here, and they will be crack sealing either late this week or early next week. And they expect to be in town to chip seal and microsurface the first or second week of August, which will get them done before school starts. And we will have the roads that will be affected and the proposed dates that they'll be on those roads on our website. So be sure to check that. That'll let everybody know when they'll be here and what they'll be doing on your street. Last year we did quite a bit of road maintenance. This year we're doing a little bit less because we did so much last year. The only problem that I think we had last year. We had some tracking of the chip seal out onto the main roads, and they were really good at getting to that and getting that cleaned up. And we had one road that they started on each end of the road, and the road looped out, but they did both ends at one time. So there was really no way out without driving through the material. So we're going to make sure that doesn't happen again. I've been talking about this. This is something that came up in last year's audit. We've started to work on our records retention policy, and so we're reviewing personnel files and making sure everything's included in that. Kim Day has started an electronic version of all of our resolutions. We've had a couple people ask if those could be put online and available. So when she finishes with this project, and it's a massive project, some days I think I come in and she's pulling her hair out because the computer's not cooperating with her. But when she finishes with this, she'll be able to go onto our website, see our resolutions, see what resolutions that resolution may have replaced, if any, and you'll be able to actually search by the resolution number, by the year, by the subject, by keywords, and by the resolution number. So that'll be very helpful to people, especially with people that want to see the latest noise or the latest barking dog resolution. Those are the ones we get a lot of calls for. We received a notice from the Sheriff's Department. Captain Minnick said that our oldest patrol car, Unit 66, has a little over 170,000 miles on it, I believe. They usually replace those at 120,000 miles, so we've gotten our money's worth out of that. Per our contract, we'll pay a portion of that replacement along with the villages that are involved in that contract. So his initial estimate was $60,000 to buy the vehicle and outfit it. He thinks he may have found a unit that's sitting with 0 miles on it and will be available cheaper. I think it might be a year older, but it'll have no miles on it. And so that price may even come down a little bit. In our agreement, whoever contributed the vehicle that's being replaced will receive a credit for that vehicle. Obviously, this was an older vehicle. I know it's got a lot of usable life, but the Village of Cleese had a fairly new Tahoe. And in talking with them, we didn't think it was fair to just say everybody, pays for that. So our setup with that is we will get the proceeds of the sale of that car taken off our portion. North Bend paid for 20% of that car, so we'll get 80%. And that car is in good enough shape that they estimate we'll get about $1,200 for our portion of that, which probably is pretty close to its weight at a junkyard. But we've gotten good use out of that, so we can expect that. Ms. Oser is ready for that bill to come in, and we've talked about working on how much of that comes out of which fund, general fund or police fund.
Right.
So, and this is something that I'm really excited to let everybody know. I met with Zach Staley, the Three Rivers Athletic Director, last week, and we had talked about this briefly before he went on vacation, but we have the opportunity for Three Rivers Taylor High School to host a cross-country meet and give the kids an opportunity to have a home cross-country meet. Part of our park facility would be used for that, and it will require the park to be closed from on September 12th from 6 a.m. to about 1:30 p.m. And then I think this is really exciting. They have the opportunity to have the CHL League cross-country finals here, and that will be a weekday. Looks like right now it will be October 14th, and they will need to close the park from 12:30 to dusk that day. I think that's a great opportunity to show off our facilities, for Taylor to show off their facilities, and for the kids to have a home meet. And I think that'll help them in those finals. So I think that's exciting. They will be closing our parking lot on those days. They're planning to charge $5 a car for parking either at our lot or in their lots, and they'll use that money to cover the cost of the officials for the meet. And I think that's really exciting for the kids. While I was there, Zach and I talked about some future things. They have some signage they'd like to place up on the baseball field, and we need to talk about whether we want to do that permanently or during the league year season. And we'll want to talk with TCRAA and make sure that they have some input in that, since they use the fields when the school's not. And we also talked about some wind screening at the tennis courts. I think I'd mentioned that to you before, that we would have something identifying Miami Township's West Park, and then during their tennis season, they would have something to identify it as Taylor's home court. And we also talked about it's time to renew the contract with both TRCAA and the school. So we'll want to get all three of those groups those two groups together with us and talk about who's responsible for what contributions who's going to make. And I think that's going to be very positive as we move forward. And there's a lot of things that we've talked about, from a new scoreboard to turf fields on the main field to just signage for the school teams and things. So we've got a lot to talk about and how we might fund that and pay for it. So.
Can I interject? I think that that's great, and I think that the entire board should be a part of that discussion. I think that we kind of, it comes up a screen, a batting cage net, a pitching mound. It seems like there's little pieces here and there, and I think it would be good to get on the same page. I've talked many times about the importance of us partnering with our school. But I think it would be great to formalize that and get on the, so that we're not dealing with each individual item every time it comes up, that we can kind of make sure we're all in agreement and with that relationship.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a great opportunity for us to all work together and kind of let everybody know. I'll give you, for instance, the agreement that I found says that we will handle the concessions down there, and we don't handle that. TCRA handles that.
No, they've always handled it. That's the thing. So I don't know what agreement you're looking at.
It's it expired 5 years ago.
Has always handled the concessions.
Yeah, it was the agreement with the school.
Since we built it.
So that was my understanding, and maybe that was the original agreement.
We should have a different one.
Yeah, that's why it's just time to revisit this. So I don't think we want to be in the concession business.
We do not.
So unless Cindy wants to run that too. So
Too much cash, too much.
yeah, we don't. As a township, we try our best not to take cash because it's just smoother for audit purposes. So we don't need to be running a concession business. So that's my report for this evening. I apologize for the length, but we've got a lot going on, and I think that's good. I tell people all the time, better to be busy than bored, and we certainly don't have time to be bored.
Thank you, Mr. Brett. Any questions or comments from the board before I open it up to the public? No. Any questions from the public for Mr. Brett? Could you please come up here if you have a question? State your name and your address, please. We could probably bring the microphone back to you if that'd be easier. No.
Yeah, this is just kind of short and sweet. My name is David Bollinger. I live at 8805 Jordan Road. So is this water ready for me to call a plumber and have it hooked up to my house, yes or no?
Yes, it is.
Thank you. That's what I want to know. All the other politics and bullshit that goes along with it, I'm tired of hearing. I'm ready for
All
water.
right, let's keep the language, please.
Yes,
Mr. Oak's got something.
Did you ever, I mean, since you've got our township attorney, right? Did you ever find out what the deal is with Cleves wanting to charge us the 4,200, even though you paid it?
We have, and I don't, yeah, I think we have sent the information to the Cleves Council. They have not met yet on that. We've sent the information out. We've requested that fee be revoked. Their administrator has weighed in at this point. We have not gotten an answer back. I don't think they've had the ability to meet on that yet and had discussion.
At our last meeting, we did not have sufficient council members there for a quorum, so we were not able to vote motion anything.
Okay, thank you.
So it has not been discussed.
Let's see,
The question is, if you pass these tap fees, there's other fees that go on top of this. You have to have a licensed plumber there on site. That costs more money. You have to have pressure regulators installed in our homes. You've got to dig trenching, rent trenching equipment. All this has to be done. It has to be come out, it has to be inspected before they even hook it up. They have to inspect your trench, everything. This takes 2 and 3. It just doubles up, triples up on money. And like I said, this project's, I hear you talk about money for this park every time you walk in this building. But this project has been going on before the park was even built. That's how far we're behind. So you're telling me that every year that price increased, and now they want to put that price on us because this project's been so far behind? The increases. Now, that $4,300 is for the smallest tap that they offer. There's actually 2 more sizes above it that range up to almost $6,000 to $7,000. This has been a ridiculous thing. And calling Cleves Waterworks, heck, it took me almost a month for him to actually even call me back, and it was amazing that he did. And he ran all this down to me. Boy, you gotta have a licensed plumber. You gotta have all this. This is all on top of their original tap fee.
Their tap fee never included the running the line to your home. And
we're responsible for that. But like I said, if you're going to charge us from when the project started, that cost for that tap to where it is today, what has the increase been?
We're not charging you for that. That's not a township charge.
Yeah, they already paid for our tap.
They already paid for the tap fee and they're trying to give us more.
Cleves is part of Miami Township. Why are they wanting to gouge us residents? There's a handful of us. Why are they wanting to gouge us for something that they haven't charged anybody else that much for? It doesn't make sense.
so to
All I
the,
could suggest is go to a water board.
What, 5 years ago?
Hold on, sir.
Maybe I should ask you to talk to the lawyers that we have on retainer.
All right, let's
and see
keep-
if there's something that's wrong here.
Listen,
Let's keep this down to one person talking at a time so we can hear you guys, okay?
I'm done.
all right, let's.
Mr. Moreline?
For everyone that doesn't know me, I'm Barry Moreline. I live at 5612 Gum Run Road, but I do own property on Jordan. And I'm going to discuss the Jordan Road water line. I want to clarify a few things here that I'm not sure all the residents understand. This project's been going on a long time. We all know that. We're past that. The project is in, pressurized, and you're ready for water. That's been told by Mr. Brett. It's in the report, pressurized and ready for water. Your tap is in. Don't kid yourself. Your tap to your property is in. The contractor, Rack and Millar, installed that tap with the process of the main, and it is in.
And the township paid for that.
And the township paid for that. Am I correct?
That's correct.
That was in the price. That was a courtesy of our trustees wanting to do that for us, the way I understand because of the delay of the project. So when the word tap fee comes back, I am totally lost. The tap is in. The next term you may have not understand is a sinking fund fee. Am I correct?
That's correct.
Sinking fund.
Sinking
That's
fund with the
coming
meter,
from
right?
Please. From what I understand, if I
Part
am
of
wrong,
what
please stop.
Justin
or
called it.
Correct me when I'm done speaking. The sinking fund fee, from what I understand, is coming from the administrator of Cleves for maintenance on their water line. Now, I got a question. How long has this sinking fund fee been in effect? Is it something new? Or has it been around for 5, 10, 15, 20 years? And is every new subdivision and every new resident getting a water tap in a subdivision when they buy their lot, are they required to pay this sinking fund fee also? Personally, I've never heard of that. I could be wrong. It could have been around 20 years. Could have been around 2 months, or since we've discussed this. That sinking fund fee is approximately 20 homes on Jordan Road, 80-some thousand coming out of the residents' pocket. Now, you all understand, and I understand, from the property line to the home is on you and me. No matter what it is, how far the distance, no matter what it is. But this gentleman right here just said, am I ready to tap? And he said, absolutely. Well, it doesn't sound to me like absolutely. He hasn't paid his $4,200 that someone's asking for. In other words, Cleves is going to control that meter. And you aren't getting a meter till you ante up.
Right.
That's the way I look at
Exactly.
it. I could be wrong. But I just want everybody to know that in the bushes, there's a sinking fund fee where your $4,200 is going. Your tap is in. Rack and Blar has been paid by this township. A tap fee generally is when a contractor is hired by a municipality to come out and cut the surface of the hard pavement or wherever it is and get the water from the main to the property line. Ours is in, partner.
But they won't charge more.
But they're looking for a sinking fund fee.
What is that in case the line sinks?
I'm new to this. I don't know what that needs to be clarified by someone from Cleves, but we're not building the Ben Spence Bridge. We're talking about a single meeting, 10 minutes, let's make a decision. And we're dragging this out, and it's not fair. But I do not believe these gentlemen will get a meter until they pay their money. I could be wrong. I hope and I wish Cleves would waive this for these residents. I really do. This has been a problem for years, and we all know that. Thank you for your time and letting me speak. I appreciate it.
3 generations. Three generations of my family have lived on this road, and we have fought for this water. My grandfather, my father actually ran a line from all the way from the end of the road about 25 years ago because he got so tired of fighting you guys on this. I mean, it took that long. Fought in Cleves. Oh, you're not a Cleves resident, you're part of the township. Come to the township. Oh, you're not township, you're part of Cleves. It's been a struggle for this for 3 generations to try to clear this up. And here we are at the finish line, and they're saying divvy up more. When all we've done is sat and took it over and over and over again. When I seen the fire hydrant, I was like, oh my God, my homeowner's insurance is going to go down $1,000 at least. But still, that's accumulated over years of having to pay extra on everything because of this water. I mean, I had 3 insurance agents come out, look at my house and say, no, I'm not insuring it. No water, I'm not insuring it. I had to go to an Indiana Farmers State Insurance, out of state, to get insurance for my home because of this water.
When I talked to Rusty and them, and they had told me, once we pay the tap fee, which you did, that put us to the pit where our meter is. So you paid that, so it should be, we put in our pit and run our water line. Now Cleve's changed the game. No, we want 4,200. They're double dipping, and they've been holding this water hostage for, what, 15 years?
What I would say, in all fairness, I think we have sent out what the original contract was with the contractors. We have sent that out to the village. They just have not had the opportunity yet to vote on it. I think they had a meeting. They did not have enough for voting. But I'm quite sure, and I don't want to speak for you, Mayor.
I was just going to ask Mr. Morline if he would come to the next Cleves Council meeting, share your viewpoint with all of council. We did receive the information from Mr. Brett and the request. Our meeting last month, we did not have enough council members present for a quorum, so we weren't able to address anything. We can discuss it at the next month's meeting. If you would like to come and address us, I'd be happy to invite you down.
I'm more than welcome, I'd love to come.
Okay. If you don't mind, after the meeting, let me just get your name and phone number. Are you going to stick around?
Yes, I will.
Okay.
All right, any other questions for Mr. Brett?
It's the first Wednesday, or I'm sorry, the second Wednesday of the month at 7 p.m.
All right, thank you. All right. Let's go to old business. All right, old business. We have resolution number 2026-11, a resolution declaring the necessity of levying a tax in the excess of the 10 mil limitation for the purpose of providing for operation expenses, Miami Township, Hamilton County, and further requesting the county auditor to certify matters in connection therewith. Mr. Brett.
First, we have a correction on the resolution number. It's actually 2026-12. This is the resolution to place the renewal of the .46 general fund millage on the ballot in November. It is a renewal, so it will not increase the folks' taxes other than the increase in the value of your home. Not much else to say about that. We've kind of waited till the very last second to get this done. We have to have it in by August, I believe, the 4th. So if you choose to place that on the ballot, we'll be running that down to the Board of Elections tomorrow morning to make sure they have it.
Discussion from the board?
No, none from me.
My only discussion is that we are sure that this is
The right one?
the right one and
so.
I
the
agree.
right,
Is this
the right
10th?
explanation, the right wording, the
This
right
is-
title,
Resolution.
the right everything.
Yeah, Mr. Ewing has double-checked it. We're good to go.
Okay.
All right.
I'll make a motion that we pass resolution number 2026-11, a
No, it's
resolution.
12.
There's
Oh, it
12.
is. Mine says 12 on one page, 11 on another page.
This should be 12.
12.
Should be 12.
Well,
Okay.
all right. All right, I'll renew it. Make a motion to pass resolution number 2026-12, a resolution declaring the necessity of levying a tax in the excess of 10 million, limitation for the purposes of providing for operation expenses for Miami Township, Hamilton County, and further requesting the auditor to certify the matters in connection therewith.
And I will second, but I feel obligated to say this every time. This has been on the books for decades, and this is just a renewal. So just in case the general public has not heard that before, I'll say it again, but I will second.
All right. Mr. Blanton?
Yes.
Mr. Volria?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
All right, next on old business, approval of an additional $25,500 for the removal of the existing equipment and footings, new equipment, and turf protective surfaces at the existing West Park Playground. Mr. Brett.
So this is what I mentioned in my report, the two larger sections of the playground equipment. Apparently, we actually joined that purchasing cooperative when they built this building, and we were able to save a significant amount of money based on their pre-approved state contract. It's actually the city of Charlotte, North Carolina, is the one who put that original contract out. The company has been purchased by Omni, and they spell it kind of funky, but that's the company we'll be purchasing the equipment through. It's still game time equipment. It comes from D&W Playground Equipment in Harrison, and they're actually have the orders ready should you choose to make that decision tonight.
Any discussion?
None.
Well, I hate to see change orders, and I know, again, I've been critical of this. 25,000 is nothing compared to what we saw at Pat in June, but if we're going to do this, I want it to be a good park, and so I'm willing to support the 25.5. Again, that's pennies compared to what we've seen previously. So I support it.
I'll make a motion that we approve the additional $25,500 for the removal of the existing equipment and footings and the new equipment and turf surface at West Park Playground.
Have a second.
Who seconded it? Okay.
Tim.
Who was the vendor gonna be?
It'll be D&W Playground Equipment.
The same, okay.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Blanton?
Yes.
Mr. Volrath?
Yes.
And Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Sorry, I'm over here.
All right. Let's move to new business. And under new business, we have the approval for the change order for West Park expansion, the amount of $55,325. And Mr. Brett.
So again, that change order includes realigning the ball field, we're going to do a dirt infield instead of a grass infield. So that's the additional ball field mix and clay that's needed for that. Again, I mentioned we added 100-foot of 6-inch chain link fence and topper. That's $8,000 of that change order and a $4,000 gate. So that was, it was just a necessity because of the proximity to that detention basin. The irrigation changes to the location of the spigot for watering the infield with $1,950. That's just for parts. They did give us credits back for what they weren't doing. We also we changed the backstop to include an angled overhang to, we were getting pretty close to the road there, and there was some thought that some of the older kids might foul balls off into the road, so we added that. Between the credits and the debits, we ended up at $55,325.
All right. Any discussion?
No.
So that, the thing that required the realignment of the ball field, just so everybody knows, the original plans had the floodway marked on them, and Hamilton County chose to use a different floodway marking. So it shortened up the field. That caused the field to have to be backed up in order to make it fit. Used to be when we did the original West Park, I'm told that they were a lot more lenient. When I've worked around the floodway in the past, you could always take dirt out of the floodway. You couldn't add dirt in. But now they're telling us if you change the elevation of the floodway more than 1.5 inches, one way or the other, you have to have a permit that Bear Becker told us was about $60,000 to get. That's why we're not paving part of that walking trail that'll be in that floodway, because we couldn't level out the area to pave it. I understand the need to protect the floodway, but it makes it difficult when you have a project like this that was originally designed on one premise, and just with the new rules, we have to follow the rules. So that's the best explanation that the engineers and I can give you. So.
I just feel like we're always held hostage here at the end of these projects. I mean, it's like you're already 95% in, and we're, we're not going to not finish the field. We're not going to not finish the park. We're not going to have it not comply with floodplain rules and guidelines and policies and the counties, this and that and everything else. But it really gets tiresome dealing with this kind of stuff at the end. So, it just seems to happen a lot, and again, I'm frustrated. So, I don't know what option there is, but I'm not feeling really good that we're talking about kind of sticking to our guns and looking out for the residents and the taxpayers here on some projects, and then feeling like we have no choice on other things. So those are my only comments.
I just want to say, if you think this is bad, the lighting for the parking lot has just been ungodly to get approved.
It's been a nightmare.
They've gone back and forth, just based on where the batteries and where the vents are and the lights. And I can tell you, Dan can tell you, because he's been at the progress meetings, anything to do in this floodway has just been a nightmare for the contractor and for us. So I agree, it's not ideal, but it's what we need to do to get the project done.
Well, and then that's why I expressed some concerns at the beginning of even investing that much money down there. But anyway, that's.
I'll make a motion for the approval of the change order for West Park expansion in the amount of $55,325.
I'll second.
Mr. Blanton?
Yes.
Mr. Volrath?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
I'm going to abstain.
All right, we've got some firefighter approvals on here, Mr. Brett.
So I somehow managed to get Nathaniel Ritchie on there twice, but these are all part-time firefighters that will supplement our full-time people. Nathaniel Ritchie, Brady Thomas, Zach Doran, Dominic Celino, Mason Moore, Peyton Aerosmith, and Jonathan Roberts. And I believe with one of these, the part-time applicant is a full-time person at Whitewater, and along with him, you get the companion dog on his shifts. So I don't think we have to swear him in.
Cool.
I think we tried to swear him in at Whitewater, but you're going to get the puppy with him.
These are all vetted by the chief.
Yes.
Good with these?
Yes. All vetted, all approved.
All right, I will make a motion of the individuals to bring on part-time firefighters Nathaniel Ritchie, Brady Thomas, Zach Doran, Dominic Siciliano, Mason Moore, Peyton Aerosmith, and Jonathan Roberts.
And I will second it.
All right, Mr. Blanton?
Yes.
Mr. Volrath?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
All right, next on the agenda is the Marathon Health addition to the health insurance. I don't know if that's something we want to have more discussion on prior to.
I mean, is there any reason time sensitive that
No, I
we
just
should deal with that tonight?
I had it on the agenda because he was here, but I think
Sure.
it would be prudent to think that over and explore it more.
Perfect.
Yeah, and can we get the cost factor?
Yeah.
Let's get that, at least get that.
Okay.
All right, so we'll push that one.
I still think it's a great idea.
Yeah, I think just getting a little more information, having a conversation about it makes sense. Okay, next is the approval of the hazmat detection equipment firefighters need, and this was the second half of these meters, correct?
Correct. You actually purchased half of them last year. And we were able to get the supplier to hold the cost to buy them this year. And they were in the original budget for
Yes.
this year.
Yes.
And we finally are ready to get those. Just by way of reference, these are the meters that hang on the guy's equipment. And one of these meters is what alerted us to the carbon monoxide buildup in this building. When he walked in, his meter went off, and that's how we found the problem with the stacks and the boilers. So they have a lot of benefits other than just in fires. So.
All right. I think it's something we have to do, safety-wise. It's in the budget. Any discussion?
None.
Discussion?
No, that's been budgeted already.
All right, I will make a motion, move forward with the approval of hazmat detection equipment, total cost $21,194.90.
I'll second.
And that's from the All Safe, right?
Yeah.
All Safe, okay. Mr. Blanton?
Yes.
Mr. Volria?
Yes.
And Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
All right. We are at the cybersecurity policy. Mr. Brett.
So, under state law, we are required to have a cybersecurity policy, and it's due this month. We have to pass it this month, so it's in your packet. I would like to get your approval pending Mr. Ewing's review, and it's a kind of a generic boilerplate packet, and then on top of that, we have let me see what Bellicor actually called it. We have a total security package that meets all the state requirements with Bellicor, our IT partner, and so we've got that in place with them. So there's nothing fancy about this policy. To be quite honest with you, it's Delhi's policy that is Whitewater's policy that is now our policy, so Alex won't have to spend long reviewing it. We can add to this, we can change it. It does require, and this is a state requirement, that we establish a board to review our policy, and it also requires that all employees have training once a year. So I'm sure that everybody that already has taken training in those requirements will be thrilled to have another set of required trainings. But yeah, there's a lot of things that are happening out there that you wouldn't think a township our size or smaller would have to experience. You would think it would be more like the village of Cleves, who has water bills and things. But they're going after everybody. I received Cindy's had these happen here before, where you get an email that says, would you kindly change my direct deposit to this account? I was sitting in my office one day and told Peggy at Whitewater, the administrator over there, I said, wow, I must have really drank a lot this weekend. And she said, why? I said, because I sent myself a request to change my direct deposit account. So they don't even look. They probably just AI generate it. And but there's some good fakes out there. So it's just part of doing business in this day's world. So if we can approve that contingent on Mr. Ewing approving it, I'd appreciate that.
Any discussion?
None.
Nope.
All right,
Seems like I surprise him with something every time he shows up.
All right, I'll make a motion that we move forward with the approval of Miami Township cybersecurity policy pending Mr. Ewing's review.
I will second.
Mr. Blanton?
Yes.
Mr. Volria?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
All right. Public comments. Mr. Moreline, you're first. You're done? Okay.
Thank you. We're doing 3 minutes.
Yeah, we're going to try to limit public comments to 3 minutes, no more than 5, please. Thank you.
Is the timer on yet, or is it coming?
You're going to reset.
You got it.
I can reset
It's
it.
on.
We're going to
If we're close, we'll give you an extra minute.
We're resetting it. That,
Yeah.
you see it?
It's stuck.
Yeah.
No, I can't see it, that's my problem. Go ahead.
Right there.
Oh, the one next to
Right
it,
here.
Joe.
Oh, see that? Yeah.
Yeah.
that.
There we
There
go.
you go.
All right.
Okay. Before I start, I want to get clarification why Mr. McDonald was not here tonight. What was the reason I could not hear back here?
I believe he's out of town for work.
Okay, and when did you get notified that he would not be here?
I think he let us know yesterday.
I thought when we started this tonight, you made a statement to the effect that you thought he would be here. Were you referring to someone else, or was it Mr. McDonald you were referring to?
I was referring before we found out that he was going to be out of town.
So you didn't find out tonight?
No. So that was my understanding. I did not hear that directly from him.
Okay, well, I have a few comments I'd like to make. First of all, I'd like to thank the council members and the mayor for being here tonight. This is a very important topic as far as the dissolution of the village. I think it's a very bad idea, and we have a lot of misinformation that's being put out by Mr. McDonald. So I want to go back for a second to Cleves in 2020. In 2020, I sued the village of Cleves because, quite frankly, they were doing things behind the scenes to bring in the sheriff's department. And because I sued them, I got a public records request, and I would like to read this here tonight so you know exactly what you're dealing with. Because no one in the village of Cleves knew about this other than the council members, okay, which they were not meeting because that was COVID, okay, and whoever was talking to Mr. McDonald. Hello, Cleves Council. My name is Ryan McDonald, a resident of Cleves. I'm writing to express my support for your review of our police department and an option to outsource the department. I understand that some of you must be facing in terms of political pressure from those who would be adversely affected. Keep that term in mind because the whole village of Cleves has been adversely affected. And I know it's not a fun experience. I don't know how he would know that because nobody else knew that. So he obviously had information and was communicating with people that were in the know. I just wanted you all to know there are those people out there that understand that the village might not have the economies of scale to support their own department. I will support you because you're asking good questions. Not sure how that could have happened because they weren't meeting. So I guess what I'm going to say is, having lived in in Cleves since 1999, and I experienced one vote for dissolution. The township trustees all went out during their election campaigns and pledged their support to help the village. I would suggest to you tonight that you look at this very carefully. It is not a good thing for the village of Cleves, nor is the, am I done already?
We'll give you one more minute. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Joe.
It's not a good thing
Get that
for
over
the
there on
village
the
of
right.
Cleves, and it will not be
On
a
the
good-
bottom.
Oh. All right,
It
sorry.
will not be a good thing for the residents of Miami Township. Why won't it be a good thing? Because quite frankly, I don't think the township has a clue what they're going to be biting off. The village of Cleves, you know, I just read on their dissolution page where he is criticizing Linda Bolton. He made statements that were not correct. And thank you, Jerry, for correcting it on that Facebook
Very
page.
offended by.
The truth does not matter. The village of Cleves does matter. And quite frankly, I guess what I'm asking this township trustees to really take a look at, if Cleves goes away, North Bend will go away. So will Addison. Addison's close right now. They will not be able to afford your sheriff's contract. If you run the numbers on there, it's going to all fall on the backs of Miami Township residents. Yes, Cleves will wind up contributing to that. But that's not going to be the problem you face because you have to pay for the salaries. And those salaries will have to be funded from your general fund. And that is going to be quite expensive for everybody in Miami Township. And that doesn't even go into your fire contract. So you've got some issues that you're going to have to address. And I would strongly suggest that you come out in opposition to any dissolution of the Village of Cleves. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Anyone else on there? Mr. Brett?
No.
All right. I guess we'll move to the comments from the board here.
Okay, thank you.
Hang on one second. Mayor Meister, was there anything that you wanted to publicly say? I wanted to give you an opportunity here.
I did have a few questions that I wanted to ask of the
Please.
trustees.
Good sheet. Please.
I was hoping that Mr. McDonald would be here to speak as well, as he is the one that has started the petition to dissolve the village. But I just wanted to openly ask a few questions regarding if there were to be a dissolution. Things that Mr. McDonald is not putting out there, but things that the residents of the Village of Cleves, as well as the residents of Miami Township, need to think about. So these questions are if the village were to be dissolved. So if the village were to be dissolved, Mr. McDonald has put out there that you guys, the township trustees, would be able to use your TIF revenue to fix some of our roads. My understanding that is not legal or appropriate. So I wanted to ask you guys directly, would you be able to use the Miami Township TIF funds to do road improvements in the Village of Cleves if it were dissolved?
Well, and it's a great question. I think that's something our legal counsel is here this evening. Alex Ewing is here. He is our legal counsel, so.
And the answer to that is no. The TIF funds need to be used on the TIF district. And so because the village is outside of the township, the TIF funds, even if it's incorporated in the township, it can't be directly used, for the purposes of making improvements in those areas. And that's kind of the short, there's some nuances there, but that is the short answer, yeah.
That was my understanding as well, but I just wanted to clarify for the public
That was my understanding also.
that when you generate a TIF, it has to be in the ordinance. You have to specify the TIF area, you have to specify the improvements, the area that you're going to use the money for, and the Village of Cleves not being a part of township yet, or at the time those TIFs were created, it would not be possible. So I wanted to clarify that. Thank you for clarifying it. Another question regarding the potential dissolution of the village. So during public discussions surrounding the potential dissolution of the Village of Addiston, it had been stated that if the township assumed responsibility for those additional services, that an additional township levy would be necessary. Do you feel the same in regards to Cleves? If Cleves were to be dissolved and you had to take on the added responsibility of providing the fire, the police, maintenance, road repairs, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, is that something the township is prepared financially to take on, or would you have to put a levy on to help with those expenses?
I don't think this is we've not researched this, we've not looked at this, we've not done our homework. I mean, really, this is your village, and you guys are kind of deciding how you want to proceed. If you want to stay for 50 years, great. If you want to not, great. It's kind of, this is your guys' baby. And to my knowledge, we have not looked at this from our council, from our administrator, and discussed all of the hypothetical what-ifs and scenarios and different things to play out. I don't know that it's even on the ballot yet from what I've heard. So it's, I guess if whoever's successful and makes the ballot, then maybe those are discussions that we start to have. I don't know. But it's my understanding that we really haven't, you probably can't answer a lot of the questions that you have because we don't have all of that.
I just want to be proactive and put
Sure.
it out there because
Sure.
these are things that are being
Sure.
presented to our residents as a reason to dissolve the village is they're going to save all this money. they're gonna save all this money. But I know, and anybody with any common sense can assume that if the Cleves levies go away, and we become part of Miami Township,
You'd be paying our levies.
who's gonna be paying that money? Because the police contract would go away, the fire contract would
Exactly.
go away.
Right.
So it's I just wanted to ask that question, and I understand that you guys have not had any.
And this is unique, and I don't think anybody's been down this road, and so it's foreign territory and
Like
things
I
that we
said,
would have
before I
to.
stood up,
Sure.
I was prepared to talk after Mr. McDonald,
Yeah.
so. So my other questions, you wouldn't be able to answer at this time, so I will withhold those, and maybe we could have a discussion, maybe we could schedule a meeting where we can sit down and discuss some logistical things, so
That would be great.
that moving forward, I have correct answers, so that I can present factual information to our residents.
And I will say this, just on Mike's comments, that as a board member, we have had no discussions whatsoever about the dissolvement of Cleves or wanting the Cleves to be dissolved, and so we could take on, that's for all three villages, Addison, North Bend, and Cleves. So I have been in zero discussions about that.
Same.
Okay, I appreciate that, and thank you for your time.
Thank you. All right. Comments from the board? Mr. Rosen?
So I went on a family vacation last week, and two observations. One, I was able to visit the Ronald Reagan Library and Museum, which was quite interesting, and they had an America 250 exhibit. It was quite patriotic. But coming back at the layover airport that we were flying back from, my brother-in-law and I were standing there, and a gentleman literally just collapsed in front of us. And so my brother-in-law jumped forward. I tried to secure him and get his arms out from under him. My brother-in-law started compressions. We did CPR. The squad eventually came, the EMS paramedics, and put an AED, on him and shocked him 3 different times, and got him mostly back, I think, and were able to send him off. But it really struck home with all of the conversations that we've had and prioritizing with this board, both with our fire department, offering CPR classes, and all the AEDs that we've put at various locations around our campus and our township buildings and down at the parks and everything else. Again, it really struck a chord of the importance of knowing that, and I would tell you that, my brother-in-law jumped to it. Again, I kind of assisted him, but my sister-in-law did the same thing about a year ago at a pool, and I think that it's important to be ready. So I encourage all of our residents, if you have a CPR class, you just never know, and be prepared. So. Additionally, I attended the employee appreciation lunch today, and that was good, and we went over different benefits and insurance, and I think it was great to gather our employees together and celebrate their service to our township. And otherwise, Naked Karate Girls again are on August the 7th. So I will also say that I got with Lindsay, and unless anyone has objection, we got good feedback from the Michelle Robinson Band concert, and so she is already reaching out to them, and we're looking at dates next June to try to secure them again. So otherwise, that's all I have.
What?
Yeah, I'll be brief. So the only thing I have is about this dissolvement. So last year when I ran for re-election, and Addison at the beginning of the year was talking about dissolvement, and I spoke up in support. I've been to Addison, I've been to North Bend. I don't think I've been to a Cleves council meeting, but it's been a while. But I've always been in support of Addison, Cleves, and North Bend, and that will continue, especially with this going on with the dissolvement. I grew up in Cleves. I went to school here. I graduated from here. Graduated from Taylor. Went away to the service, raised my kids here, worked here, still live here, obviously. So the three villages they mean a lot to me. So they've always meant a lot to me. We went to school with people we grew up, we know people, and the villages mean a lot, I think, to our community. They mean a lot to our history. And I'll go on the record and say that I'm in support of all three villages being their own municipalities and stay in a village, an independent village from the township, even though they sit inside the township. So, and they're always part of the township, but they're still their own municipalities. And I just wanted to make my position clear on how I feel about that. And that's all I have tonight.
All right, I would finish that up, and I agree with Mr. Blanton 100%. I think that's the uniqueness to the township. You know, the sum of the villages creates the full piece, right? So I am in full support of this villages going. I believe Cleve's been around since 1818. Yeah, so long time, a lot of history. Would hate to see that go away, and I will support the village any way that I can. All right, Ms. Oster?
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys know, but police and fire, they're changing, that's the retirement for the fire department, is changing the way they do reporting. So there is like 5 online trainings that Sissy and I are both doing. Thank God they're online. So it's actually a really big thing. And then in August, she's going to a training in Cincinnati, and in September, I'm going to a training all day in Columbus. So I haven't, Jim knows about it, but it's all about how the employees are going to be reported online and, you know, the coding and everything. So they're already not of my job, that is probably the worst thing I do once a month is police and fire. So I'm hoping they're making it easier and simpler. We audit. Jim and I had a meeting with the team yesterday. Thought a very simple meeting. Went through what the process is, and Kim, thank you. I mean, even today, we got so much requests, and we got a lot, most of it ready. They're gonna come in Tuesday for a few hours. They're only gonna come here a few times. They're supposed to have it done by end of August. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, so thank you, Kim. And they send requests, and we look for them. And I just, if you guys get something from the auditor, or I ask, or Jim asks, we really need those requests. So that's all. That's all I have. Do you have anything you want to add?
The pre-audit conference was just kind of the same old.
Right.
Mike did attend that. I think it's good that we had it so we could tell everybody that we're underway. And I will echo her feelings about police and fire. They can't make it any worse than it is now. So anything they do, I guess I shouldn't go out on that limb, but I can't see it getting more difficult because it's already a complicated process. So hopefully that'll be a good thing.
All right, thank you. This time, I'll make a motion for the board to move into executive session to consider the employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee or official, or the investigation of charges or complaints against a public employee, official, licensee, or regulated individual, unless the employee, official, licensee, or regulated individual requests a public hearing by Division G1 of Section 121.22 of the revised code.
I'll second it.
Okay, Mr. Blanton?
Yes.
Mr. Volrath?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
And that's at 7:25.
All right, I'm going to make a motion to come back from executive session into regular session.
Second,
Mr. Blanton?
yes.
Mr. Volrath?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
And that's at 7:58.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I will second.
All right, Mr. Blanton?
Yes.
Mr. Volrath?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Who seconded that?
I did.
Tim.
Thank you.